Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to a weekend previewing all the Premier League and Championship action. And let's get straight into it with the Premier League. And yeah, obviously season getting towards business end now, so big games, and starting off with Crystal Palace against West Ham, 12:30 on Saturday. And Palace coming into this one off the back of that loss to Wolves. West Ham lost to Liverpool, so both teams wanted to bounce back. But both these teams, West Ham only 5 points clear of the relegation zone, so they're not totally out of it, but pretty much are. Palace are safe. At home, I'm going to say Palace will get the win. But yeah, game between maybe two teams with not a huge amount to play for in the league at least. Moving on then to Brentford as they take on Nottingham Forest at the Brentford Community Stadium. Brentford obviously defeating Chelsea in the week. What a huge result that was for them. But yeah, I think I can't really see them getting into Europe, to be honest. But yeah, what a season they've had. Forest, they're still fighting for survival, aren't they? And yeah, that huge win against Brighton could be massive. Them taking out the relegation zone, they need a win here to back it up, or at least a point. But at home, I think Brentford may have a bit too much. So I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on then to Brighton as they take on Wolves at the Amex. And yeah, Brighton coming into this one off the back of 2 losses on the trot now, if you include the FA Cup semi-final, 3 losses in 4, so they'll be looking to bounce back and really keep their European ambitions going. And yeah, they still got a good chance to do that given how impressive they've been in the game in hand they've got. Wolves are 8 points clear of the relegation zone, so they don't need to worry about that. And yeah, I think Brighton at home will pick up the win. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on then to Bournemouth as they take on Leeds. Moving on to Sunday's fixtures now. And yeah, Bournemouth filming this before the Southampton game, but they're currently in a good position to stay up, even after that 4-0 loss to West Ham. But Leeds, yeah, still right amongst it after that draw against Leicester, and they need points and fast, really, because it is going to go right down to the wire with those teams still involved. So yeah, obviously this is a big game for both of these sides, and I'm going to say it will be a 1-1 draw. Moving on into Fulham as they take on Manchester City at Craven Cottage. And yeah, Fulham obviously 1-0 loss to Villa last time. Didn't quite go according to plan. But yeah, Manchester City coming into this one obviously on an absolute roll at the moment. Suddenly the treble was looking likely for them. Got one hand on the Premier League trophy, and yeah, kind of just a testament to how good they are. So I'm going to say it will be a 3-0 City win here. I think they have far too much for them. Moving on then to Manchester United as they take on Aston Villa at Old Trafford. And yeah, Manchester United coming into this one obviously off the back of that FA Cup win last weekend, filming it before their midweek game against Tottenham, so don't know the result, but still looking good for a top 4 place. But Aston Villa on a roll at the moment after that win against Fulham, so it's not going to be an easy game for Manchester United at all, with Villa of course hunting down their own European place. So I'm going to say it will be a Manchester United win, but yeah, like I said, not going to be an easy game. Moving on then to Newcastle as they take on Southampton at St James's Park. And Newcastle 6-1 win against Tottenham last weekend. Southampton did really well with a draw against Arsenal, filming it before their Thursday games, but who knows. Newcastle looking good for a Champions League position, but Southampton yeah, really struggling at the bottom of the Premier League. And yeah, I think just can't see a way they can start, to be honest. And Newcastle looking good for a top 4 position, especially being at home. I'm going to say it'll be a Newcastle win here. So yeah, 2-1 for me. Moving on then to Liverpool as they take on Tottenham at Anfield. And yeah, Liverpool coming into this one obviously off the back of 3 wins on the trot now with that win against West Ham. And yeah, Tottenham coming into this one obviously on a really bad run of form. Now got Ryan Mason in charge. Yeah, it's just not been a good few weeks for Tottenham. Their hopes of maybe even a European place are really fading. So yeah, hugely disappointing for them. And I think at home, Liverpool starting to find some form, will pick up a win here. Moving on into a big game down at the bottom of the table. Leicester taking on Everton. And yeah, this is obviously a big game for both these sides. Still right in amongst the relegation battle. Leicester drawing with Leeds, 4 points from the last two, so they definitely are improving. Everton, I don't know. Under Dyche, I still feel like they'll be okay, but they are still right in amongst it all. So yeah, I'm going to say it will be a Leicester win here at home. I think they might just have enough, but it's one that you really feel could go either way. Moving on into a big game for both these teams with a London derby on the Tuesday. Arsenal taking on Chelsea. And yeah, Arsenal coming into this one obviously off the back of yeah, really disappointing run of results. Winless in 4, lost to Man City, and that's kind of their time to fade away. But they're not on as bad a run as Chelsea, at least. I mean, yeah, it's just gone horrendously, hasn't it, for them? Lost every single game since April the 8th. And yeah, I'm going to say Arsenal get the win here. Surely Arsenal are even good enough at the moment to beat Chelsea. Moving on into Blackpool as they take on Millwall at Bloomfield Road on the Friday. And yeah, this is obviously a huge game for both of these teams at the bottom, at the end of each table. Blackpool, picking up a win last weekend. They're 4 points from survival. Need a win here to have any chance of staying up. Really, only 2 games to go. Millwall outside the pass on goal difference. So yeah, a win is absolutely crucial here, and they want to win by as many goals as possible to really improve that goal difference. I'm going to say it will be an away win for Millwall because both teams need it, and yeah, it's kind of hard to call. Moving on into a game where we've gone from both teams having to fight for a lot of things, to a game which is kind of almost a dead rubber. Bristol City are mid-table. They'll be playing Championship football again next season. Burnley, of course, being crowned champions in the week, which was obviously a huge result for them. So they'll be absolutely delighted with that. But yeah, I mean, it may mean that they've maybe not trained as hard for this game or whatever. And yeah, I can see it being quite a close game, even though Burnley are definitely the better side on paper. I'm going to say it'll be a 2-0 Burnley win for them, though. I think they'll have a bit too much for them. Moving on into another big game in the Championship, and we've got Coventry taking on Birmingham. And yeah, Coventry obviously eyeing up that playoff spot. Good win over Reading last time out. And yeah, inside the pass by a point now. Now everyone's kind of playing the same games. We've got a good read of it all. And yeah, Birmingham with 53 points in 17th, they're safe. But yeah, I think this is all about Coventry. Yeah, and another win here, and you'd say playoffs are looking very, very good for them. I'm going to say it will be a 1-0 win for Coventry here. Moving on into Hull as they take on Swansea at the KCOM Stadium. And yeah, Hull coming into this one 1-0 win against Watford, trying to end the season positive after they're mid-table, so they're not going to be going up or down. Swansea only 3 points off the pass in 12th place, 2 games to go. It's incredible how tight it is. Can they launch a playoff push? I don't know, it'd be very optimistic, but you never know. They just need to keep on winning, and you never know, I suppose. But taking on a Hull side looking to improve, I'm going to say it'd be a draw here too. Kind of end Swansea's playoff hopes, but still good end to season for them. Moving on into a massive game down at the bottom with Reading taking on Wigan, and yeah, quite simply, both these teams have to win. I think Reading, their form's just not been good enough as of late, has it? And it's a must-win for them to have any chance of survival, really. 1 point off, and Huddersfield and Cardiff and have a game in hand. Wigan, bottom of the table, 4 points off, with 2 to play. Yeah, I think they're pretty much down, but for Reading, it is a must-win. And I'm going to say, despite Wigan's recent resurgence, Reading will do enough. Moving on then to Sheffield United as they take on Preston at Bramall Lane. And Sheffield United obviously promoted in the week. Congratulations to them. They definitely deserve it. For Preston, though, it's a massive game for them. They're only 2 points outside the playoffs, still right in the hunt, and yeah, they need a win here, definitely. So I'm going to say, I don't know, it'd be interesting to see if Sheffield United take their foot off the gas or not. I don't know, I don't think they will. I think they'll want to win to celebrate with their home fans. I'm going to say it'd be 1-0 to the Blades. Moving on into Stoke as they take on QPR at the Bet365 Stadium. And QPR, what a massive, massive win that was last time out against Burnley. Who saw that coming? Certainly not me. And they're taking on a Stoke side who are kind of ending the season with a bit of a whimper. I'm predicting it. QPR 4 points from safety, 4 points ahead of 22nd with 2 games to go. I think they're pretty much safe, but yeah, they'll want the win to assure it. But Stoke also want to win the season well at home. I'm going to say they'll have a bit too much for QPR. Moving on into Sunderland as they take on Watford at the Stadium of Light, and Sunderland coming into this one off the back of 3 wins and 4, meaning they're in the playoffs now with 2 games to go. What a great first season it's been back in the Championship for them, taking on a Watford side really struggling at the moment at home. I think they'll definitely be fancying their chances in this one without a shadow of a doubt. Watford just been struggling so much recently. Sunderland on a roll. Sunderland being at home, I can only see one result here, and that is a Sunderland victory. Moving on into West Brom versus Norwich, and 2 teams who really kind of probably would have hoped for better seasons than they've actually had. They're still in playoff contention, especially West Brom. A team with the best goal difference of the sides on 63 points. Norwich, team with the best goal difference in 62nd points, and their 9th and 11th respectively, only 2 and 3 points outside the pass. So yeah, it just shows how ridiculously close it is at the moment. I'm going to say West Brom will pick up the win at home to give them, just half a sniff of the playoffs. Moving on into Sunday's games, and a massive, massive game in the Championship. Cardiff taking on Huddersfield, Cardiff. I don't know how they do against Rotherham because I'm filming it late, of course. But yeah, Huddersfield drawing against Sunderland in the last game because they didn't play last time out. And yeah, if they can stay outside of the relegation zone with that incredibly big game against Reading, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be such an interesting game, this one. I think both teams may settle for a point, which would be good enough. Now I'm going to say 1-1. Moving on then to Rotherham as they take on Middlesbrough at the New York Stadium. And yeah, don't know how Rotherham did in the week, but you know, they're not out of the relegation battle yet. They need points. Middlesbrough obviously have their playoff position secured, so it'll be interesting to see if they start to rest some players here, maybe to, you know, prepare for the playoffs. But Rotherham, they need points still. And yeah, at home, I think they may fancy their chances here. But I think Borough as well will want to carry momentum into the playoffs, and I think Borough have more quality. So I'm going to say 2-0 to Borough. Moving on then to Blackburn as they take on Luton at Ewood Park. And Blackburn coming into this one off the back of 4 draws, and a loss in the last 5. And yeah, it's just not the form that gets you into the playoff spot. But they are only 1 point off. So yeah, their chances aren't rested off yet. Luton, kind of a similar story to Borough. Will they rest some players? Will they look to continue the momentum into the playoffs? Who knows? It is an interesting conundrum, that's for sure. I'm going to say here it will be a 1-0 Rovers win. I think Luton may take the foot off the gap a bit and give Rovers opportunity. But anyway, guys, that's it. Video. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, subscribe. Those are what's coming. Daily football news and subscribe to my channel. Let's go now. Greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.